Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Coming back to Sweden filled me with so many good memories, so I'm dedicating this whole episode to nostalgia. You know that feeling when it feels like everything before was just a little bit better than it is now? It might not have been, but it feels like it was better. It feels like it was more authentic, more real, less fake. And there's something about traditional Sweden that just really brings that out. You've got the old coffee shops, the konditori they call them, and in there you can get two types of coffee. You can get the medium roast, you can get the dark roast. They don't have 56 coffee types up on the board there that you got to choose from. You just get your nice two coffees. You pay once and you can drink as much as you like. They got these little things, these little sweet things called dammsugare, dust sucker, so it's shaped like an old Hoover. And they just taste amazing. And I used to eat tons of those when I lived in Sweden before. They still got them, they look the same, they taste the same, they are the same. And I was reminded of the second-hand stores, the loppis they call them. Basically, people just don't throw their stuff away. If it's got any value at all, it gets given to this used market and it gets sold for just pennies, really. And it attracts all kinds of people. It's just so popular. When the loppis is on and when it's open, it's usually packed with people. So as soon as I arrived there, the loppis was on that day, so we went straight down there, and my wife and her sisters, they were buying little teacups and little things that were in there, and I ended up buying a motorcycle outfit that I don't really need, but it was good quality and it was only like £8 or something, so I bought the whole thing. That is so typically Swedish. You can be riding or driving through Sweden in the middle of nowhere, and you will see a little sign on the side of the road pointing into like an old farmhouse or something with the word loppis written on there. You just kind of pull in there and you can go and get yourself some kind of bargain with something. I'm sure there's millions of pounds worth of stuff that's been accidentally donated to the loppis and people don't know what they've got. It's just sat on some old table in an old barn somewhere waiting to be purchased for 20p or something. But it just filled me with so many good memories. So I decided that I was going to go and visit the place where I first arrived in Sweden and where I kind of got established in Scandinavia. So that's where the whole trip starts here now. So please, you can join me on it. That was just pure luck that this bus stop was here, because this rain came down pretty heavy pretty suddenly, and if I got caught in this for 10 minutes I would literally be soaked to the bone. I got quite wet, but nothing quite like what it would have been if I got caught in this in a bad way. I just passed Filipstad. I'm on my way up to a little place called Leksand, where I am then going to cut across and go east and cross the Norwegian border just a little bit further up into Norway. Part of the reason for this is because coming back to Sweden has just filled me with nostalgia. It was 25 years ago that I was in Sweden, and of course loads has changed, you know, things have modernized and things like that, but I came to this little place called Kristinehamn, which has kind of kept a lot of its old school kind of feel to it, and I just like, it was literally like going back in time and just remembering how things were like 25 years ago, or actually it was 25 years ago I visited Sweden, but it was about 27, 28 years ago that I actually lived in Sweden. And one of the things I loved about Sweden was this kind of, they managed to keep some of their tradition. And going back to Kristinehamn, where you got all the modern shops and everything as well, but you've got all the kind of the old stuff there as well, and I just loved it. I loved it. It's just filled me with nostalgia. Look at that. the rain stopping. I'm going to give it another 10 minutes or so, because there was supposed to be some sporadic rain today and around this area, and I think I obviously just found it. So I'm going to wait until this completely goes over. The weather is going to get warmer and warmer today, and I think it's supposed to hit about 27 degrees. And tomorrow it's just blazing sunshine all day long. I can still hear a load of thunder going on, so I'm not going to get on the bike yet. Flip. Don't quite trust it. Not quite. Almost. I feel like it might kind of flare up again. I'm not sure though. You can hear the thunder in the distance. It's kind of all moving away. Opposite direction to the way I'm traveling. And the way I'm traveling, it's looking like it's getting nicer. But I think I'm just gonna take a few minutes here. I'm in no rush. I gotta say, I feel very, very fortunate that this bus stop was here. And now look, we've got blue skies. A little bit wet, but nothing serious. And we're off again. Now that is just what you call good fortune right there. Happy days. My phone, after that rainfall, my phone has stopped working completely. So it actually works, but I can't touch the screen or do anything like that. It won't respond to any touching on the screen, which is a nightmare because that's got kind of my maps. And I had, I think, 4 or 5 different stops kind of all planned along the route here. Now, I'm gonna have to pick up a map, but I'm gonna have to get like an old-fashioned paper map. You remember the ones. But I'm going to have to get to a town first, like Leksand or somewhere like that, to pick it up. Now, it's not started with any signposting to Leksand yet, but there's signposts to Mora, which I'm pretty sure is on the northern point of the Lake Siljan. Now, Leksand is on the southern point. So if I head for Mora, I'm sure I'm going to see signposts to Leksand at some point. As I was driving down the road here now, though, I noticed there's like a car park with an information point, and it's got a little map. So I'm going to go and check if that map actually kind of covers that far up north, or whether it's just this little area here. But it should give me a little bit of an idea as to where I'm headed. Fingers crossed. Right, no, this is just a completely local thing here. Welcome to hiking and biking trails in Vansbro municipality. But I can see we've got Mora Kommune up there. That's Mora Council. So, and I'm heading for the Lake Siljan. So yeah, this is not really helpful, but at least I know Mora is kind of north. And I'm here, I'm guessing. Yeah, I guess I am. I don't know. I'm winging it big time, but I'm guessing I'm following this road here. Oh no. It's just amazing how completely dependent upon kind of everything digital we become. But when it fails, it's like, ooh, that doesn't feel so good. But we just got to make it happen. I'm just gonna have to stop and ask people. And I'm no good at asking people. I don't like asking for help. Typical bloke thing, that, isn't it? Anyway, I'm gonna have to ask for some help. I'm also gonna have to get to some kind of payphone at some point and phone to Lilian and say that I can't make any calls to her and she won't be able to make any calls to me unless the phone just miraculously fixes itself, which it doesn't look like it's going to. When I rode down to Turkey, I had a little burner phone with me, and that was a good idea actually. But I haven't this time, have I? Hej! Telefonen har gått sönder. Hvis jag fortsätter på denna vägen här, kommer jag till Leksand?
Till Leksand? Jag vet inte. Vi är där.
Ja.
Ja. Och där har du Leksand.
Okej.
Men det kan ju gå småvägar.
Okay.
Jag vet inte om du ska åka upp till Mora och sen ner eller om det är...
Då har jag gått fel väg.
Ja, men det går ju småvägar här.
Hur långt är det sån ungefär?
Ingen aning.
Då fortsätter jag till Mora. Tack ska du ha. Hej, kan du hjälpa mig?
Ja, alltså vi får se. Alltså du kör ju upp till Vimo och sen här.
Ja.
Du svänger här höger.
Okay.
Det är den första blå skylt med svänga av.
Ja, ja.
Det kan du inte missa.
Ja.
Det står Ryssa, det står Tomteland och Gesunda.
Ja, okej.
Och sen åker ni här, bara fortsätter ni.
Ja.
Till ni kommer här till Leksand. 46 kilometer.
Ifrån det krysset?
Ja, precis.
Och ifrån här till det krysset? Så
20 minuter.
20 minuter.
Ja.
Okej. Tack så mycket.
Tack.
Ha det bra, ha det bra. Right, okay. That was stupid of me. Let's put about an hour onto it. I got to decide whether I want to put that extra hour there and hour back. That's an extra 2 hours on it all today. Oh, such a shame. That's what happens when your technology stops working. So I've got to buy a map anyway. Maybe getting to Mora and buying a map before the shops close is a good idea. Otherwise, I am stuck. I don't know where I'm going. Okay, so I decided that I was only like 40 kilometers away from Leksand, which is like, it's 25 miles, so I'd taken a wrong turn, but not that bad a wrong turn. So I thought, being this close, I really should go visit it. So I have. Well, not quite yet. I'm on my way there now. Like 10 kilometers away. Okay, we are in Leksand. Now this is a blast from the past. It does bring back memories of this whole thing being frozen. So frozen that you could walk on it, and they even used it as a car park, this lake. I might be able to get a map in there. So this is a map of Sweden, but it has all the Norwegian borders in it as well, so, and a good chunk of Norway. So that will get me over the border in the right direction. So I do actually have my computer with me, which is quite random because I don't normally put it in my bag. But Lilian she's taken a load of stuff on the train and on the train. I didn't want to have to take that as well, so I managed to jam it into my bag so I can get online, which means I can get in touch with Lilian. I can also check my route over the border online as well, but obviously when I'm back on the road, I'm going to be relying on a map to get me to the right places. So, talk about nostalgic. This is about as nostalgic as it gets, going back to reading maps instead of sat-navs. How about that? I'm heading out and try and find this little place where I used to live, which I think is kind of up there somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure. If I can't find it, I can't find it. Without a sat nav, it just makes you realise how totally dependent you are upon these things. I got a little map on the back of the bike. I must admit, I am having a bit of a laugh as well. I've got a funny feeling it's up here and maybe like to the right or something like that. I can have a look anyway. I mean, I could be wrong. I can't spend too much time trying to look for it, unfortunately. Could be that one. No, maybe. I don't think it was this far out, that's for sure. I don't think I'm going to find this little place. Oh, that's a shame, but it is what it is. So, miraculously, I've just nearly drove past Leksand. Now this, I can't remember exactly which house it was, but there was a little cabin in the garden. That's it. That's it right there. Right, this might be a bit weird, but I'm literally going to go up and chat to the guy. Hey, son. Ja, jag kommer ihåg detta. Well, I reckon that probably freaked him out a little bit. It's the same guy that lived there. He doesn't remember me. I remember him slightly, because he was fixing cars with his son all the time. But anyway, right, I need to get to Norway. Here's my little map on the back of the bike. I'm here right now, Leksand. I need to go towards Malung, and then when I get to Malung, I will then find out I need to go kind of up here and cross the border up here somewhere. So I'll get to Malung first and see how that goes. Obviously I couldn't film too much because I was ever so slightly skeptical of what was going on. Anyway, that was the little house that I lived in when I lived in Sweden. Ja, den är från 1995, inte så gammal. Men jag har kört den ifrån England ner till Turkiet i fjol. I sista året. Turkiet, ja. Ja. 5000 kilometer. Och så med det tältet här. Så det är väldigt bra. Men min telefon, den har gått sönder. Så jag har ett litet kart på. Men vet du bästa vägen till Malung? Jag ska till Malung och så upp.
Närmaste vägen? Ja, antingen du kör över bron.
Ja.
Och antingen kör du över Dala-Järna.
Ja.
Och när Dala-Järna så...
Det är skilt till Malung, sant?
Ja, det är det.
Ja, okej. Väldigt bra. Tack ska du ha. Ha det bra. Oh wow, that was so special. That is so special. Talk about nostalgia, man. Oh, I am feeling just all the good stuff. So today's journey has taken me from Kristinehamn all the way up here, up to Mora, and I dropped down to Leksand, over to Malung, and I think I might try and cross the border here. Today has been such a massive blast from the past, and I've loved it, absolutely loved it. I've ridden a lot more miles than I've needed to ride because I've kind of gone like up and then back down and then across and up. But where I've ended up now, I had no idea I was going to end up. So now I am up near to a place called Hundfjellet, which is translated Dog Mountain. And behind me you can see these ski slopes. And over there, there's even more. And I used to come up here to snowboard. Now, I had no idea when I was living in Sweden that this was right on like the Norwegian border. I didn't know. And actually Dalarna and Leksand, it's only kind of, I guess, probably about 3 hours ride from Leksand until you hit the Norwegian border. And we're actually really close to the Norwegian border now. I'll be crossing it probably in the next 45 minutes, something like that. But what a special day it's been. What a special day it's been for me. And I wrote this word down this morning and decided to start the whole thing with this, nostalgia. And because I thought I've been feeling quite nostalgic since coming back to Sweden after all this time. And today really cemented that kind of feeling of nostalgia. Going to Leksand again and seeing that little cabin where I lived for about 6 months in that guy's garden. And he couldn't remember me, but it was the same guy because he's owned that house since 92 and I was there in 96. I think it was like from September 96 until about January, February time when I moved to Stockholm from there. But it's been so special and experiencing that and then coming up here and just feeling like you're connecting with your past life. This was, it is knocking on 30 years ago, man, when I first came to Sweden, 29 years ago. It was the August of 1996 I came over to Sweden, and we're in the July of 2025. So, yeah, it's 29 years. It'll be 30 years next year since I moved away from the UK to come out to Scandinavia. And there's so much that feels familiar. There's so much that hasn't changed at all. I didn't have a really good chance to have a proper look around in Leksand, but it's a tiny place. But it just reminded me of what a sweet place that was and a quiet and lovely place that was and such a great place to live. When I was in my early 20s, obviously you weren't thinking, oh, I'll go to the quietest place I can. Now I'm like, oh, I can definitely go to a quiet place and live there quite happily. But yeah, it's special. It's special. And seeing this as well, I've had an emotional few days actually, thinking about it. Just feel totally soppy. Maybe it's with age, you start looking back and you realise that you really have had a good time. You had a great time and experienced a lot of great things. And it's been great. And being able to ride the bike through I had no idea, literally no idea that I would be coming over this mountain, exactly this mountain, back into Norway, Hundfjellet. I had no idea. Right, I've got some riding to do. I think I'm going to get over the border into Norway and then find somewhere to camp, set up camp. it's the middle of the night. I did a bit of a late one riding, and I've just set up camp just off the main road in the woods. Not quite a 4x4 track like the last one, but yeah, been a brilliant day of riding. It just got really late and I got into Elverum in Norway, and it's about 12:30 right now. Set up camp in this little wooded bit off the main road, so you hear a few cars going past, but it's pretty sparse out here as well. And I'm gonna get my head down now because I'm absolutely knackered, but brilliant day of riding. We covered a lot of miles today, saw a lot of things, and yeah, it was just a nice one for me today. I really enjoyed that for a lot of reasons. So anyway, good night, see you in the morning.